But then I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, which we do in here quite a bit, and I met a couple guys who said it was a very cold building, flickering lights, the breaker went out sometimes. They even called it the cold mic open mic, the cold nipple open mic. And the people that are in this contest today have all been to our mic, and they've all become our friends, and they've helped us. So this is really special to me. I'm glad I'm not judging it, because I like every one of these guys. They're funny and they're friends. I would like to say, you know, these two guys that I was playing D&D with, they said, hey, we can fix that furnace. And then they proved it, and we had heat. And then they said, hey, we can fix everything. And they can. I thought, that's great, you guys can fix everything, because I can't fix shit. So it works out really good. So yeah, and they did the lights, the electric, all this crap. And I know we're a work in progress, but this is our first show, and I love the turnout. Thank you guys very much. This is great. We're really excited. I'd like to mention a couple places before we go on. Our hosts, our landlord, our friends are Scott and Corey, and they own Happy Haunts, which is the building right next to us. Please stop in and see them. They have year-round Halloween stuff, and they make stuff like the electric chair you see there along the wall. You guys are welcome to take pictures with that and sit in it if you want to. But make sure you visit their shop. Our host tonight is going to be Jay Pruitt. Jay is a comic, a friend, and he's also a funeral director. Also, let's get up your hand. He's offering up the $100 for the prize tonight. So please visit his funeral home. Maybe you can talk to him after you get a 2-for-1 deal or something. Speaking of that, if anyone dies laughing here tonight, that's fine. We promise to find you quicker than Planet Fitness. Thank you very much. I'd like to, Jake and Matt have partnered with us. Now we're Happy Place Event Center. This is our very first show. I'm excited you're all going to be part of it. If you need a restroom, you have to go out of this building and back the other building, and you'll see arrows on the floor that lead you to the restroom. So we're a work in progress. We'll get them eventually. But thank you all for coming. And we're going to have 10 comics tonight. Like I said, they're all friends. They're all funny people. And the only thing I want to say before we go on is to turn your cell phones down now. Keep your table talk to a minimum. And don't heckle the comics. You can speak to them if they speak to you. Okay, now let's see how loud you're going to laugh at the comics. Come on, give me a laugh. There we go, that's going to sound great. Thank you all for coming. Now I'm going to turn it over to comic and funeral director, our friend Jay Pruitt.
Let's give it up for Jan Tatlock. Let's give it up for Dave Cross. Let's give it up for Matt Wheeler. And then the Mr. Flurry Man himself, give it up for him as well. Yes, he's done a great job with this. Well, a beautiful crowd out here. I am like so excited and then a little ambivalent too. So I'm up and I'm down. I'm up because this is such a great place. They told me when I came here tonight, so we got a lot of changes. We even got a big screen TV. Why? Like if I get too boring, are they going to turn on cartoons? Why I'm kind of bummed out, went through a pretty rough breakup. Yeah, toxic relationship just ended this week. My girlfriend left me for another guy, sleeping around on me. And the thing of it, she's blind. And I couldn't believe she'd see someone else. And I guess the dude she was going out with, she thought he was like so romantic, he was writing Braille on his penis, you know. I'm thinking, turns out, joke's on her, he had herpes. Yeah, what do you think of me now? Yeah. He told her it was love messages in Spanish. She knew better. Little, information for you here. What's your name? Jonathan. Jonathan, and this is really for all of you. If your girl screams out, "Oh, Jonathan," and your name's Jay, you might get a clue. There's a problem. I'm a funeral director, as you already know, and a lot of people ask me, "What's it like to be a funeral director?" And I always tell them, "You ever seen that movie Weekend at Bernie's?" Nothing like that. I don't have them up front with me. They're not, pouting around. I'm not, waving them out the window. Usually they're in the back of my purse as we drop. But I went on a removal the other day, so I get to this hospital, go to pick up a guy. He's a double amputee. I thought, well, he'll be like. I get into the room, first room I come into, and here's a guy, he's laying there on the bed, ZZ Top looking guy, old ZZ's there. I'm thinking, okay, so I go to pull him over onto my cot, and he sits up, starts screaming, I'm screaming, I'm thinking, holy crap. And I could have avoided all of this had I just looked and seen that he had legs, and he knew how to use them too. Flailed around. Finally, the nurse come in, "You're in the wrong room," and I'm thinking, you think? So I finally get to the right room and make the removal. Before I do that, I did a little research this time, check. No legs, that was a good sign. And so I flicked his nose just in case. And his wife didn't care for that. She was like, "What was that about?" I'm like, now I'm embarrassed, I'm ready to go. I get him over on my cot, I'm headed down the hall. Hear this nurse, and she's running down the hall. She said, "Wait a minute, you forgot his legs." And I thought, he doesn't have any legs. And sure enough, here she is carrying a pair of prosthetic legs. She said, "He's going to be needing these." And I said, "Well, not where he's going." That was rude. And I said, "I didn't mean it that way. I meant when he gets to heaven, he's going to have a wheelchair with his name on it." She was like, "I'll have you know, when he gets to heaven, he's going to have a new pair of legs." Why are you giving me these? Nevertheless, we've got a lot of great comics up here tonight, and our first
be interrupted by me for a second.
Is it be interrupted?
I forgot to tell you guys something. I mentioned that Jan and I were charity comedians to begin with. Every show we do, we donate a portion to a charity. And tonight, it is a guy that's helped a lot of people in the comedy community. He even put me on a show. His name is Terry Shepard. His wife's having stem cell treatment. So we will donate 10% of the proceeds. Thank you. You can also donate for that to Jan up there, and any of that will go straight to him. Thank you guys very much. Sorry for the interruption.
Our first comedian tonight, you might know him as a cartoonist. He's done some stuff with Saturday Night Live, Steel Panther. Ooh, yeah. Let's give it up for Bob East. Come on up here.
Is this Mike or the one with the cord? Which one? I was going to say. Oh my God, Jan. We love Jan. I like how Dave's like, my sister's a comedian. Let's put her on the show. Do you want to sell popcorn? Who's our judges? Hey, it's Mike Rowe. Yeah, that's not his name. That's what the girls say when they see his dick. That's my plan. I'm just going to insult the judges there. Hey, I'm super excited, man, because I went shopping with my wife today. Woo! Yeah! Excited about that. We're going to Kroger, Just pretend. I just sing that song, trying to sound excited, man. We're going to Target to buy some gloves. I can hate it, man. She tricked me too, man. Yeah. She went to go shopping. She went to get some new furniture. I ain't gonna get new furniture because that shit's expensive and I'm cheap, so I turn in and try to talk around and negotiate her out of it. You know, like, hey, we'll go over to Menards, get some of those buckets, we'll sit on those. We'll go over to Kroger, get some egg boxes, throw some sheets over it, use that for the table. Get a bunch of Mad Magazine boxes, we'll put our TV on that. America, we have shitty furniture but a giant TV. She did, man, she tricked me, man. She conned me into going shopping with the old lunch bid. There was no fault for that, guys. That's how they do it. You want to go to lunch? Yeah, of course I want to go to lunch. I like food, man. And then as soon as you're done eating, you're like, oh, by the way, I gotta stop by the Walmart, and then I gotta go to the post office, and then I go to my sister and I got some shirts, and I'm like, oh, fuck! I don't like to go much because she doesn't like any of the places I want to go to. You know, she doesn't want to go to Mandy places, she wants to go to some place like Panera Bread, you know? I didn't hear her right. I was excited at first. I heard it wrong. Thought she said Pantera. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to go see Pantera. Let's go, woo! I get in there like, this is a bakery. Wonder why they were playing at the mall on Tuesday afternoon. And then you go into this place, and you walk in, there's always like an old lady clerk in there. She's like, our special today, or a cup of soup and half a sandwich. You see me trying to squeeze through the door? I'm a fat guy. I probably have half a sandwich on me somewhere already just for a snack for later. I'll tell you what I want, a half a cow and a cup of gravy, that's what I want. Let's get some Pantera good up in here, let's rock this place. And then the other thing they give you sometimes is you go in, and the other thing is you go in there and it'll be soup and salad. That's fucking worthless, isn't it? Nobody wants that, no guy wants that. That's like leftovers from the night before. Like this guy's out to dinner, he's like, I'll take a steak and the baked potatoes and a beer. Send that soup and salad to the loser that comes in the morning. That's what that is. Yeah. I'm fat, I'll be honest. But I figured out how to look cool and be fat at the same time. I wear a heavy metal shirt, or better yet, I put on a Harley Davidson shirt. Put on a Harley shirt, man, I strut out real cool, talking tough, like, going down to Memphis, I'm gonna get in a bar fight. That works for about 2 minutes. So they see me walking outside of Panera into my Honda Civic. The Muppet Show starts at 7. That's not true. I wish it was. I wish the Muppet Show was on a 7. I don't know. I don't own a Honda Civic either. I got a big Dodge Ram 1500 4x4. With 14 pianos on the side of a mountain. It's about a half a mile with a gallon of gas. I fill it up and I go to the next gas station, fill it up again. Sometimes I fill up, take an Uber because it's less, costs a lot less, you know. I do have a Harley Davidson, to be honest. It's a newer, it's a 2009. And it's cool, but the real Harley guys, the badass Harley guys, they want the old Harley Davidson. You know, I want a 72 panhead. It's rusty and it drips oil. I carry a Craftsman toolkit so I can rebuild it on the highway. That's the kind of Harley I want. And it sounds awesome. A Panhead 72. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know if they made a Panhead 72. I have no idea. I just think it sounds cool, you know, walking around saying that. Panhead. I want to get a Panhead. My wife hears me, oh, Panera Bread, let's go! I think you got soup and salad today. All right, I'm Bob East.
Let's keep it going for Bob East.
Soldier had thought, if I outlive you, I might see you. We've got another great comic. Coming up right now. He's from Indianapolis. He's a personal trainer, so you know he's hot. Adrian Rosa.
All right. Are we off to a good start? Okay, he said I was hot. He said it, not me. I like my women how I like my pizza. Hot and ready. All right, I wasn't gonna start with that joke, but roll with the punches. Okay, so what do me and my shoes have in common? We're both in the closet. I'm actually out of the closet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually straight. So now I just confused you. It's okay. That's basically what I do. I just confuse people. I just say things and they're like, is it true or not? I gotta work on my sarcasm. So where was I? Dude, okay. I was gonna talk about this guy that's on steroids. He's like the buffest guy I know. If you're having trouble losing weight, just take steroids, and it'll do the work for you. This guy, he's really buff. All he does is steroids, takes Viagra, and eats McDonald's. So, if you can eat McDonald's every day, just go buy some steroids. And actually, I think it's Cialis. Cialis, that's what it takes. He tried to have an argument with me. I was like, dude, I don't even know what that is, bud. All right, so steroids. Another guy that makes me laugh. It's the guy that gets electrocuted on Home Alone. Every time I think about that, I'm like dying laughing. I'm just like, it just reminds me of my life, just like being like, ooh. Sometimes it's like that. I don't know, just too charged up. Let's see. Speaking of people that are weird, so I got a new girlfriend. That's something new. Yes, got a new girlfriend. I used to, thought and plot. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but it's just a new term. You thought and you plot. Is it hip hop? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Or another term, hanging and banging. You guys ever do that? Obviously, one night stands, that happens. Netflix and chill. Netflix, or in other words, Netflix and chill. Yeah, they're loving it. What about hey, for all the guys, we're just a bunch of squirrels trying to get some nuts. I don't know. Let's see. I wasn't gonna talk about. Okay, girls. Okay. I used to play soccer. We used to give each other nicknames, and we used to call this guy La Tanga, which means the thong. So what a thong does, like it just goes up your butt, it's just like a line. So he was the goalie, and he literally didn't cover anything. He was just so bad. This other guy, we called him calambres, which just means cramps. He would just get cramps all the time. Let's see. One time my team got in a fight, and I didn't join. After the fight, they called me Judas because I betrayed them. They called me that the rest of the season. But I disagree with them. I'm a lot like the dirt because I'm down to earth. Yes, I'm also like the rocks because I am always stoned. I'm like the rocks. Speaking of rocks, I was hanging out with my friend one day, and he was like, bro, my dad likes to ice skate. And I was like, that's awesome, bud. He must be pretty good. And he was like, nah, bro, he does the meth. I never heard it called that before, but it got me dying. I was literally laughing so hard. Let's see. One time I was in the library. I only got a couple, just seconds or whatever. Actually, I'll just end it with that.
Let's keep giving it up for Adrian Rosa. I like to wear a good thong myself. We got another Adrian coming up on the stage. We had the good looking Adrian. Right now, we've got the funnier Adrian. According to him anyway. Adrian Gomez, come on up.
So, yeah, you heard it right on the funnier Adrian. That's it. Is all of Greenwood in here right now? That's what it feels like. Does anybody know who I am here? Anybody? If you don't know who I am, I'm actually the #1 kids comedian from Indianapolis, Indiana. Yes, number one. Pizza party, thumbs up! Pizza party, thumbs up! Parents, thumbs down. Parents, thumbs down. Kids are so stupid, they're fucking dumb, man. They believe everything and anything you tell them. Minecraft, thumbs up. Minecraft, thumbs up. Minecraft, thumbs down. Minecraft, thumbs down. Kids do not like Hitler, they don't. You're like Elon Musk up here. It's that kind of crowd, all right. But I recently found out I was Mexican, folks. I did. But I'm as Mexican as Taco Bell is Mexican. But much like Taco Bell, white women only find me attractive when they're drunk. And in the morning, they instantly regret I was inside them. We're having fun. I have some bad news. My salamander has diabetes. But don't worry, the split will grow back. It'll grow back, folks. That's okay. Believe it or not, stand-up comedy is not my full-time job. It's not, although I am pretty good at it. No, I'm actually a math teacher. Yeah, they really need teachers right now. It's actually very similar to stand-up comedy. Everybody's on their phones. He calls me a pussy. Yeah. I have a lot of students that smoke weed, so when they come in my classroom just like reeking of it, I always tell them, oh, I love the smell of your new cologne. Yeah, they didn't get the joke either, they're too high. But yeah, I quit that job, I'm not a teacher anymore. There's a lot of jobs I don't like. Like, I don't like shoe shiners, I look down on them. But I am for prostitution, and that's a profession I can get behind. Let's relate. I don't know. Does this happen to anybody here else? Like when you go to a different gas station, do you ever feel like you're cheating on your current gas station clerk? Anybody else get that feeling?
I feel bad about it.
Yeah. I haven't seen my guy in a week, and I saw him this morning, and he's all like, "Where you been? You know we have the cheapest gas station Viagra in the city." Yeah. You got no reward points for one. Yeah. Like, and maybe you can answer this. When did gas stations become smoke shops? There is so much paraphernalia in these gas stations. Like, I was there this morning, I'm like, let me get 30 on pump number 7. And you know what, let me also get that 7-foot bong on the display. I got a long road trip today. I'm not a PC guy, but I think anything can be funny. If a joke is well written, well told, it can be funny, right? Yeah. Except for abortion jokes. Those jokes are not funny. They're not. Usually because they cannot be delivered. Don't laugh at that joke. That joke sucks. Don't laugh at that. I can tell you guys are pretty conservative. I grew up pretty conservative too. I grew up in Lafayette, Indiana. I grew up so conservative that I still believe in 2 sexes. Yeah, 2. The first time I had sex and then that other time. I don't know that one. Thank you guys so much. My name's Andrew Gomez. Joke your host.
Keep it going for Adrian Gomez.
All right, we've got our first female comedian coming up to the stage. She is representing the fairer sex. Erin Middleton. Yeah, the fairer sex. I got confused on that one too. Erin Middleton.
We got a little out of order there. I was unprepared. Yeah, have you guys seen the lineup tonight? There are a lot of dudes here. And when they asked me to this show, I was like, am I signing up for comedy or like a gangbang? There's a lot of dudes. So like, you know how some women refer to like a certain type of man as like a dog? They're like, oh, my ex is such a dog. Where are you finding these men? Because I would like a dog. I would love to date a dog. I would just get raccoons. They sneak out at night to eat trash. Have you guys heard of Project 2025? I think this crowd definitely has. I don't know anything about it. I just know what the internet told me. And apparently, it's just like a bunch of conservative people that are very interested in banning pornography and more traditional roles for women. That doesn't make any sense. I thought pornography was a traditional role for a woman. So like, what's gonna happen to OnlyFans? We're just gonna have like a bunch of trad wives like showing their ankles, churning butter? What are we gonna do? I need to think that through a little bit. So my ex is basically the White River. Yeah. Because if you swallow him, you will get sick. It's true. My boyfriend's ex-wife finally moved out of his apartment. Thank God. I was getting really sick of her. She kept kicking me in her sleep. Restless legs. So you know like the food pyramid? Don't you think we should update that? Like we're eating a lot of stuff that's not on there. Like Ozempic? People live off that shit. Or like girl dinner? If you're my age, you love girl dinner. That's a food group. We're also eating a lot of ass. A lot of ass is getting eaten these days. And there's a saying about that apparently. It's like, an ass a day keeps the doctor away. And that doesn't sound quite right. Like you're eating that much ass, you're gonna need to see a doctor. I've always been very much like, fuck the police. Yeah, bunch of party poopers. And then I started dating a cop. And now it's more like, fuck the police. I got new appreciation for law enforcement. I might not look like it, but I really want to be a housewife. It sounds amazing. And not for the normal reasons. I don't want to sit around and be lazy. I don't want someone else to take care of me. I'm just saying, if I'm a housewife, that means I've got a house. Inflation's a bitch. The housing market's a bitch. I have just come to terms with the fact that, like, I'm gonna be renting until I die. And even then, you know, I have this sneaking suspicion that I'm gonna get up to heaven and Jesus is gonna hand me a lease agreement. Thou shalt accept me as thy Lord and Savior. And Jesus is a slumlord. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you.
All right, keep it going.
At the funeral home, I buried a wrestler the other day. And you know, you learn a lot of, stuff, but a lot of, terminology for wrestling when you bury a wrestler. Like the half Nelson, right? Full Nelson. Father Nelson. We got another great comedian coming up, Kev King.
How's everybody doing? Thanks for coming out. I'm actually really glad everybody came. It is way too cold outside to be going door to door telling everybody about Jehovah, so I'm gonna use my time to do that tonight. Now, my name's Kevin King, and I don't think narwhals are actually real. Like, why do we all just fully accept that underwater unicorns were a real thing? I don't think they're real. Like, did you guys know that that horn isn't actually a horn? It's a 10-foot long snaggle tooth. And this tooth is flexible because, that's what teeth do, they flex. And the female narwhals are attracted to the male narwhals that have the longest horn. Of course, because size matters in the animal kingdom. You know that there's that one stumpy narwhal that's like, no, dude, it's not the size of it. It's the motion in the ocean, dude. Yeah. That man's name's Kevin. I don't think electric eels are real either. Those are just Pokemon. No animal should be able to use Thundershock. That's bullshit. Hummingbirds? I don't like them either. Like, it's the smallest bird in the world. It can flap its wings 80 times per second, can fly upside down and backwards, and its diet is sugar water and nectar. That's a bug. It's not a fucking bird. That's a vegan mosquito. What do you guys think about AI? Like it? Don't like it? I like it. It is scary. It is scary. I keep getting this ad because I built my own algorithm with my own two hands. This ad, you can upload 2 pictures and it makes the people kiss in a video. and it looks super realistic. You got this ad? Yeah, dude. Like,
I actually just did it.
Are out?
Buddies last week.
dude, I thought it was creepy as shit at first. So creepy. But then the longer I thought, I did. I did it. Uploaded a picture of me and a shotgun, and gotta say it looked pretty good. I think I'm gonna paint my ceiling tonight. I'm kidding. Another thing about AI, I recently learned that the very first AI brothel has opened in Berlin. Dude, this is great news. You know, STD rates are gonna go down so much. Unless they have the same cleaning policy as Planet Fitness tanning rooms. You guys believe that story? Dude paid for a month, they got a lifetime membership. What a killer deal. So I think that, you know, it's okay if you're gay, it's okay if you're straight, it's okay if you're white, it's okay if you're black. I'll tell you one thing that's not okay, pronouncing Washington with an R in it. It's not fucking Washington. Oil is 2 syllables, it's not oil. Don't do that. All right. One more quick story for you guys. Who thinks farts are funny? I like you guys. Farts are hilarious. All right. So, I'm a truck driver, and I was driving the other day, and I farted. And because it's cold, the windows were up. Look, hold on. It took a couple of minutes before the smell hit my nostrils. Like, it was a lingerer, dude. It was, yeah. So I rolled the windows down naturally. Smell didn't go away. So at this point, I'm thinking somebody shit my pants. Anyways, I get to my stop, I get out, I go to check in. As I'm walking, still smell it. That's when I realized just Beach Grove.
All right, my name's Kevin King. Welcome to King. Give it up for Kevin King. Our next comedian is the winner of the 2021 Clean Comedy Challenge. Woo! I guess that means he showers. He is the 2024 Spirit Comedy Award and finalist of the 2024 Clean Comedy Challenge. Again, it is John Molehill. Welcome to
What's up, beautiful people? We having fun tonight or what? Kevin was talking about artificial intelligence. How come these algorithms seem to know everything about me, but that I'm broke? I swear those bots just taunt me with crap I can't afford, those evil bastards. My buddy asked me, like, are you afraid of artificial intelligence taking over everything? Like, it does music, art, probably gonna be doing stand-up comedy someday. I was like, no, they might be able to fake art and music, but they're gonna have a really hard time putting a computer through childhood trauma. I don't know, speaking of artificial intelligence, if you put a bong up to your ear, you can hear the White River. It also smells and tastes like it, as we found out tonight. I think the only difference is the White River has more chemicals in it and gets you more high. I got tired of smelling my wife's stinky ass feet, so I finally buried them out back with the rest of her. Not really, the ground was too damn hard. I'm gonna have to wait for it to thaw. If it's felt a little frigid outside the last couple days, you can blame it on her cold ass. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of winter, but it has its good points. When it snows, I like to go out and mow my yard. I figure if my neighbors think I'm crazy, they're not going to bother me and ask me for ingredients and crap when they're cooking. Wash your car in the rain, whatever it takes to keep them off your trail. And I don't know about you guys, but I could not be done with 2024 quick enough. Man, I was like, am I right? Anybody else? That about killed me. I was so ready for 2025. And the thing is, I'm not big on like New Year's resolutions, because I figure if you don't make a resolution, you're not going to fail at it. But this year I broke my rule. I'm like, I want to find a girlfriend that laughs at all of my jokes. Because I figure if she can laugh at all my jokes, she's probably really good at faking an orgasm. And that's the kind of confidence building that I need. My buddy asked me if I ever laughed during sex. I said, no, I usually don't get it. My wife left me, whatever. She was like, you need to quit being so rough during sex. Like it's any of her damn business how I masturbate. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Big deal. My wife denied Peter all the time. It's tough times out there. Talk a little bit about Taco Bell. I was at the Taco Bell drive-thru earlier today, and the guy at the drive-thru says, would you like to round up so our employees could go to college? I said, no. Would you like to round down so my mom can get something to eat too? And I respect Taco Bell. I mean, even they know their employees don't want to stay working at that crap hole. But I'm just saying, if you can't get the 3 items I ordered correct, you may not be college material. And some of you are laughing at the college material part, and some of you are laughing because you know there's no damn way he only ordered 3 items. I would have ordered more, but times are tough. Money's a little tight. I've almost earned enough Visa points, though, to pay for my bankruptcy, so that's pretty exciting. My kids were giving me crap about the gifts I was giving them. Like I have any control what's being delivered to my neighbor's porches. My daughter says, Dad, this year for my birthday, all I want is cash. I said, yeah, I bet, that's all I want. So imagine the surprised look on her face when she opens her gift and it's a box full of job applications. You guys have been great, thank you.
Our next comedian hardly needs an introduction. I know he was going to wear a camouflage shirt here tonight, but he was afraid he wouldn't be seen. Don't say that you weren't warned. We got Wee G. Come on up here, Wee G.
I'm Luigi. Any cigarette smokers in the house? Yeah. I know, right? I've been smoking since I was 13, and I cannot stop. It is the hardest thing in the world to stop, man. I remember the first time I tried to quit smoking, it was in the 90s. It was with those needles. What's it called? Heroin! Oh, I love heroin. If you got a bucket list, put heroin on it. I still smoked. It was some, well, shizzle my nizzles, like that was. I figured out my problem was I like the taste of smoke. So this time around, I've been smoking a lot of pot. And I've been having some really crazy thoughts. Stop there and share something. Did you know that when you clean your vacuum cleaner, you become a vacuum cleaner? If you're wearing a sweater, that sweater makes you sweat. You're a sweater. Damn, I'm mad backwards. This damn, I'm mad forwards. Yeah, that one you gotta think about, eh? When you write the words butt cheeks, do you spread them? Ma'am, you spread your butt cheeks? Spread the butt cheeks. Can we get her a piece of paper? Write it slow. I like to watch. I wrote this while I was really, really high. When you purchase disposable lighter, every time you light that lighter gets a little lighter. Now you can light that lighter to light your way or to light a fire, but eventually you're going to light that lighter to a point where it no longer lights, making it its lightest. Let that bounce around in your brain for a minute while you're really high. I thought when I wrote that I composed like a real original stoner thought, and then I Googled it, and it is not. There are 8 billion of us on this planet, man. All I'm gonna say is made me wildly unpopular, but it needs to be said. Some of you should consider not having sex. You wanna know why? You ever been at work? You're working. Your coworker gets in your way. You politely tell him, "Hey dude, get out of the way!" And he magically gets more in your way. I worked with 14 of that guy. If you don't know who that guy is, guess what? You're that guy. Kill yourself. I'm going to leave it right there because that seems like a funny place to stop telling the audience to kill themselves. I'm Weech, thank you.
We got another great comedian coming up. The next comedian is a father of 3. He's a husband of 1. He's an Army veteran. His accolades include 3-time winner of the Bob Zaney Fix the Joke competition. Incidentally, Bob Zaney is going to be right here. Nonetheless, without further ado, he's the co-holder of the Guinness World Record for the largest marching band. I don't even know what that means. He's a one-man band, a one-man comedian. Give it up for Ryan May.
Probably the hardest part about having to cremate your grandma is ignoring the screams for help. Now, my grandma, she's a deeply religious woman. She used to make me and my brothers go to church all the time. There's this dad came home from school. He says, Ryan, come here for a moment, please. Yeah, Grandma. Do you know Zachary Brehab? Zachary Brehab was our pastor's son. I went to school with him, and I had a beef with him because that prom that year, my girlfriend dumped me and went home with Zachary Brehab. So I said, yeah, I know Zachary. Well, Pastor Brehab caught Zachary kissing a boy today. So my Bible study's going to go over. We're going to lay hands upon him, and we're going to pray that day away. Oh, that offended me. I spent so much time praying that gay in. So my wife and I are celebrating our 25th anniversary this year. Thank you. So to celebrate, we're taking a 1-week whitewater rafting and camping trip, which confuses our entire family because she won't sleep outside at night because she's terrified of bears, and I can't swim. So to help her out, I got her a weighted blanket. And to help me out, she got me a weighted life jacket. I know some of you looking at me and thinking, Ryan, you're a trophy husband. It's not that funny. What are some tips you might have to having a happy marriage? Well, I got 3 rules. Rule number 1, you gotta keep dating even after marriage. Like last weekend, I took my wife to downtown Indianapolis. There's this restaurant where they serve burgers that are rude to you. What's the name of that place? Steak and Shake. Thank you. Then we went axe throwing. Super fun. Absolutely worth the band from Home Depot. Number 2, you gotta be a good listener. Like me. Like, while I'm here with you fine people tonight, my wife's gonna walk into our bedroom. She's gonna find 40 folded paper swans on her pillow. Because I'm a listener. I've heard her complain for years I never gave her multiple origamis in the bedroom. 3, you gotta have fun with each other. Like, we have nicknames. Like, my wife's name is Kelly. You know what my nickname for her is? Kelly Bean. Is that not totally adorable? You know what she calls me? The McDonald's ice cream machine. Because I'm always broke. Yeah, she turns 50 here in a couple of weeks, and every year for her birthday we do some sort of couples thing. Like we've done wine and canvas. We went indoor rock climbing. This year she's supposed to do something called pegging. I don't know what that is, but it's anything like a hot yoga class, and I'm going to be so sore the next day. Anyway, we're both over 50 now, You know, sex after 50 is a lot like dating Major League Baseball. If you want to keep your scoring numbers up, you need performance enhancers, you know? And I got some Viagra. Oh man, it is awesome, but there's some side effects, like migraines it causes. For some reason, every time I take one, she gets one. We got 3 kids, all girls. So my house has seen more periods than the NHL playoffs. Cindy's my oldest. She just came home from Indiana University for Christmas break. She brought home a few things like a boyfriend and opinions. I am sick of them both. Then Riley's my baby girl. She's still my kid at heart. The other day she came up to me and she said, Daddy, will you play princesses with me? I can't tell her no. So I made her clean the house and I took her sisters to a party. Well, it's either that or take her to the woods and pump her full of NyQuil. I am going to brag on her real quick before I get off of here. You know, she
placed third in her 5th grade science fair competition this year. Do you know what that means? It means I placed third in a 5th grade science fair competition. All right, I'm gonna leave you with my favorite bar joke I've ever written. A numerator and denominator and the letter X walk into a bar. The bartender says, "Hey, you guys gonna be a problem?" Hi, I'm Ryan May.
Right, man. Talking about cremation reminded me of chicken. You know, we got a lot of home cooking restaurants here in Indiana, and that just blows my mind. I don't understand it. Why would anyone go out for home cooking when you can just cook it at home? It's a lot like going out to a hooker for home loving. You know? It's one time, just stay home. Right now we got a very funny comedian coming up. He's from Indianapolis. Aiden Avon. Come on up here.
Yeah! Dude, this venue's awesome. The chairs are black. I feel like I'm sitting on a shadow. Yeah. I was a bad student. I was a pretty bad kid. I was a bad kid, right? I graduated 679 out of a class of 680. I was so shitty. I didn't even get reverse valedictorian. I got reverse salutatorian, right? And my counselor, she sat me down. She handed me, she said she was concerned about my career and my career path and where I was going. She sits me down and she hands me a trade school brochure, a military brochure, and a suicide prevention brochure. She thinks I'm so bad. The only thing I have a career in is ending my own life. No, it kind of made me a little mad. So I told her, I said, I don't need help. I already got into college. And she was like, where? And I was like, some small college in Wyoming. Harvard University. Harvard University is 2,000 miles away from Wyoming. In Massachusetts, I didn't know geography too good. I was a reverse salutatorian. She said for what degree path? And I was on my toes a little bit. I was on my toes. And so I had to think of the smartest degree. Like, what does a dumb person think a good degree is, right? I just told her, I looked her dead in the eyes and I said, computers. And the school likes to recognize like students for prestigious like colleges, so they posted it on Facebook. They said, we're glad to announce Aiden Abel will be attending Harvard University in Wyoming for a degree in computers. Dude, you guys are great. You guys are really good. That's to say. You look like you work. Where do you work at?
I work. Hair. I do hair.
Hair?
I do hair.
Hair? That's good. Love your job and you'll never work a day in your life. Where do you work at?
Lowe's.
Lowe's?
Yeah.
That's good. Love your job and you'll never work a day in your life. I think the orange apron's cool. I think it's awesome. The orange is my favorite color. I work at Starbucks. I wear the green apron.
Yeah.
That's all I got for that. When I was a kid, my little sister, one day I walked into her bedroom. She had to be like 8 at the time, and I was like 12, and she had slathered our dog in Vaseline. Like a whole tub of Vaseline just covering the dog in it. Do you know what it's like to chase a boxer covered in Vaseline? Like around the house, just smearing Vaseline all across the walls and everything. Okay, I feel like I need to talk about the elephant in the room, and it's not Kevin. No, I'm just kidding, we love Kevin. Mike, are you getting this? Are you getting this, Mike? Can you change that one to a 5? That one right there. Okay. $10. You're grading me in money?
No. You get us.
Oh. Sorry, I'm a little slow. Somebody told me as I was walking in that I look kind of like David Byrne. I also kind of feel like David Byrne with the autism. Or like a me before you do anything to it. Or like Joel Osteen. So naturally I put my hand on his head and I said, repent! Repent! I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. I'm not a pastor, that's Keith.
No. Yeah, Keith, the next guy. You don't know him yet. You'll meet him pretty soon. Yeah, Reverend Blackburn. No. I write all my college papers in Google Docs, right? I write them all in Google Docs. And I write all my jokes, I write them all in Google Docs and I send a shareable link to the teacher, right? I'm in college, I send it to the teacher. And I also write all my jokes in Google Docs, but I fucked up. And I submitted a paper on the JFK assassination, and in the conclusion, it said, naked and afraid isn't that bad because you get to lose weight at the end. Like, that's a viable solution over like Ozempic. Oh my goodness. You look like you got working man hands. Where do you work? Work at Kroger? I'm so sorry. Thank you guys so much. I'm in day one.
You give it up for Eddie As you can tell, it gets pretty intense trying to change the judges, scores and everything. And one thing that I forgot to do at the very beginning is to give some of our comics, the rules. This epic battle, there is no biting. You cannot bite one another to get the victory. There's no kicking, there's no pinching, there is no crotch grabbing.
I didn't want to do none of that stuff till you said not to.
For all of you folks out here, you can grab each other's crotches all you want. As long as you got permission, the comedians cannot do that. A guy you do not know, but will know, is coming up right now. He's our last comedian, Keith Blackburn.
I feel like I'm being judged. With a jury of my peers and an electric chair. I'm 50 years old. That's the longest I have ever done anything. The second longest thing I've done is I've been married for 23 years. They say, what is the secret to 23 years of marriage? I don't know if there is a secret, but when the preacher said, till death do you part, my bride whispered, it will be enforced. My greatest fear of doing stand-up, I was afraid I would get on stage and everyone would laugh at me. That's not helping. I'm being vulnerable and y'all are still laughing. I've been doing comedy for 4 years now. And when my fellow comedians would often finish a show and they would talk to each other, they'd be like, man, you really killed them tonight. Man, you slayed that audience. Man, you murdered that stage. I thought, man, I want to write and perform killer jokes. Because I want you to be murdered. For your entertainment. I want my jokes to have tattooed teardrops. Doing life without the possibility of parole. Going to the electric chair. Because I want you to be entertained. So I did research. How do you write killer jokes? I Googled it. They gave me 10 steps. I started studying. I was like, man, I'm going to write killer jokes. My jokes are going to be so killer that even if I bomb, I still kill. So I wrote my first killer joke. Y'all want to hear it? A comedian walks out on stage, tells a joke. No one laughs. He kills everybody. Did you know Jeffrey Dahmer? 17 murders, cannibal, necrophiliac, serial killer. 17 murders to his credit. Went to prison, 17 life sentences. While in prison, Jeffrey became a Christian. And many of my Christian and pastor friends have a problem with Jeffrey Dahmer being born again. I do not. I would rather be at the great banquet with Brother Jeffrey than to be the banquet for Jeffrey. Denver, Colorado, 2022, there was a box truck with a box and a dolly on the back of it in a neighborhood, and 2 thieves stole the box. In that box were 5 human heads that was headed to a laboratory. Do you think the thieves knew they were stealing human heads? They get back to the house and be like, dude, did you hear what they said? 2 heads are better than 1? He said, yeah. What'd they say about 5? Because we winning. They never found these heads. It troubles me. So I Googled, how much is a human head worth? I don't know what's scarier, that I Googled it or Google had an answer. Apparently, a human head would get you, with just a skull, $700. Skull, teeth, $800. A full human head, $2,000. Skin is $10 per square inch. It's all on Google. I got to thinking, $2,000 a head. 2,000. 4,000. 6,000. That's more than $100. I'm Keith Blackburn. That's been my time. Thank you.
And I keep giving it up to Keith Blackburn. Check this out. I was just texting a while ago while I was sitting over there. Someone just texted me, I have the body of a 20-year-old back at my funeral.
Means I'm going to be busy tonight after I get out of here. You know, we've got a lot of great comedians that were up on this stage tonight, and we've got a lot of judging to do. So while we're doing that, we've got a comedian getting ready to come up, Jan Tatlock. Before I do, I'm going to turn it over. Come on, Dave.
I'm not Jan Tatlock. I'm Dave Cross. I'd like to say something in just a minute while they're figuring out the top 3. The top 3 are going to come out and do 3 new minutes of comedy. So before that, though, I'd like to say, you know, we got some things coming up, some shows. We got Nervous Vernon Munchie, we got Bob Zaney, we got Tom Nave, BT, and lots of great shows coming up. And I'd also like to thank the last comedian that just performed, Keith Blackburn. He donated these speakers, this mic stand, this stool. Matter of fact, he's replaced everything on the stage except me. I don't know what he's going to do next. But let's give Keith Blackburn a big hand for all this. Thank you very much. And Jen's been complaining that she's had to sell popcorn all night, so I'm going to let her come up and do some jokes while they're deliberating. Please welcome Jan Tatlock.
Thank you, Dave. You guys are a great audience. Which is good because not everybody in Greenwood is friendly. I pulled up next to a guy, asked him for direction, and I mean, he turned all red in the face and started yelling at me and cursing. I mean, he did calm down when I backed the car off his foot, but then he already told me where to go 3 or 4 times. But you guys all look happy. I'm happy too. I just got back from vacation. It was a great trip. I even got to work on my bucket list. I have finally become a member of the Mile High Club. That skydiving instructor was so shocked. And my husband worked on his list too. He went parasailing. You know how they like to dip you in the water a little bit? You guys should have seen him. Everybody else did. When those trunks came off, talk about your three-point landing. It was a wonderful trip, but it did show me, and I need to lose 2 or 3 or 4 pounds. Woman walked up to me on the beach and she said, "Lady, you are too old and too fat to be wearing that thong bikini." It wasn't a thong when I put it on. It wasn't even a bikini. So now I'm trying to lose weight. I can't camouflage things with my Wonder Bra like I used to. Poor thing just keeps wondering, why is there a belly button in this cleavage? And I had to get weighed the other day. That didn't help anything. Lady says, "I need your weight, ma'am." I said, 110 pounds. It's okay, you can laugh. She didn't buy it either. She said, "I need an exact weight. You have to step on the scale." So I made her wait while I stripped down to my underwear. She was not happy. Neither was anyone else in that license branch. But I know I do need to take my health serious. I'm getting older. I'm finally at that age where I embarrass the crap out of my kids. Not on purpose like I used to. See, I thought I was doing okay. You know, aging gracefully, maintaining. Then I hit the old lady trifecta. I sneezed and I farted and I popped my teeth out at the same time. At my daughter's wedding. And my other daughter said, I ruined her vacation. We were at the beach, out on the pier, and of course I had to pee. And Gloria says, "Just go in the ocean, Mom. Everybody does it." So I learned it's considered okay to pee in the ocean. But man, they kick you right off the beach when you do it off the end of the pier. And we went shopping. I was so excited. The whole family hadn't gone together like that in a long time. But there again, when I've been in a car for 3 hours with no break, I am going to do that pee dance to the very first toilet I can find. I can't help it. I'm old. The manager at IKEA should not have waited till I popped down to yell, "Lady, it's just a display." Lucky for him, I wasn't doing the Tennessee no shit shuffle. I think the worst one though was when my grandson showed me a picture that his little girlfriend had sent him. And I said, "Well, honey, what does this LMFAO at the bottom mean?" And he said, "Oh, Grandma, she's a good church girl. She ends all of her texts with, 'Loving my father and others.'" So I'm looking for a new church now. After I ended a newsletter with, Sister Mabel has gone to her reward, and she'll now be playing piano for Jesus. LMFAO. It's gotten so bad. My daughter called me up the other day and she said, "Mom, we've been thinking maybe it's time for you to quit driving." And I said, "I've driven for over 40 years. I hit one orange cone, and you want to ground me for the rest of my life." She said, "Mom, that was not an orange cone, that was a sombrero." And we're still paying the guy's medical bills. Honestly, I have to give her that one because I don't even know how I got in that parade. Thank you guys, you've been so much fun.
Okay, the judges have deliberated. I said, yeah, they have deliberated, and they've decided on the top three, who will all come up and do 3 new minutes of comedy. And the top 3 are, in no particular order, I will announce the order when they come up, but John Mohill, Aaron Middleton, and Adrian Gomez. So here to do a fresh 3 minutes, please welcome Adrian Gomez.
What's up again? Thank you. I was reading about mermaids this morning, and I don't know if you know this, in the 17th century, sailors would be at sea so long that they would view manatees as beautiful women. You know this? Do you know how long at sea I'd have to be to want to have sex with a mermaid? I mean, manatee. Turns out 2 hours. That's yeah, I'm banned from the zoo, everybody. It's been interesting, like, last 2 months. My parents have been U.S. citizens for 2 years, so this was the first election they got to vote in. Very interesting time. And the day after election, my dad calls me, and he says, your mother voted for Harris, because she's a woman, and I voted for Trump, because I'm a man. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. I'm like, Dad, you know he wants to deport like 10 million illegal immigrants, and the majority of your friends are illegal immigrants. He like pauses for a minute. He's like, I'll get new friends. I wish that one was a joke. Speaking of fathers, I don't know if you noticed, dads are becoming new punching bags in society. Them explaining, when you hear a bad joke, you're like, oh, that's a dad joke. You see a man out of shape, you're like, oh, he has a dad bod. I won't be surprised a year from now, we start calling masturbating dad sex. Please don't bother your father. He's upstairs having dad sex. We're having fun. I'll end with this one. As you know, a few months ago, a missing man was found dead at a tanning bed at Planet Fitness. 3 days after arrival. You know this? He was actually found by a gym member, which goes to show you that Planet Fitness doesn't clean their tanning beds. But fortunately, employees that missed leg day had to carry the body outside. So they caught up on deadlifts. Thank you. Good night, guys. Thank you so much.
I keep giving it up for Adrian Gomez. We are still representing the ladies. Aaron Middleton and Brett Mack are second of 3. Come on up. Get up for Aaron.
Thank you guys. I've been told that I remind people of a potato. Makes sense. We're both round, both lumpy. We both need a good scrubbing before you can eat us. Speaking of food, do you guys like corn dogs? Yeah. Me too. I love a good corn dog. It's like the way that I eat a corn dog. It's like I hold it in my hand and I like try to bite down as far as I can. You know? As far as I can. Before I have to like jerk it back up to the top. That's not sexual. That's how I eat corn dogs. Because a carny told me one time. He said, if you're not gagging on that corn dog, you're doing it wrong. That really stuck with me when I was a child. So last year, I found out that I had cervical cancer. Yeah, sucks. But what really sucks is, I had cancer at the same time as like 3 other people that I work with. And they all had it way worse than I did. It just sucked because they like stole my cancer spotlight. I didn't get the attention I deserved. No one cared. I just had slutty cancer. So like once all my cancer was like cleared up, I had to have like a final round of tests done. And that included a full STI panel. And for some reason, I decided that I wanted to share those results with my dad. And you know that you're the family disappointment. When your dad takes the results of your STI test and he hangs them up on his fridge. Because that's like the only test you've ever taken that he can be proud of. That's not a joke. I always knew I didn't want kids. But the older I get, like the more tempted I get. Because like, I want to feel like that bond. I want that unrequited love you have with your child. And I also want those tax credits. I'm poor. Poor people have kids. And I also want like to be able to mold another human being, you know? And I also want to be able to leave work whenever I want to. Have a good excuse to do so. Thank you guys.
Aaron Middleton. Our third and final comic coming up right now. He should be a mountain, not a hill. John Molehill, come on up, give it up for John.
All right. Potato. Man, I do not want them to fix the FDA. I'm a little pissed off about that because if they do, that'll mean it's my fault I'm fat. I kind of like blaming the government for that. I know I shove a bunch of chemicals in my fat mouth, but I want to blame them. But yeah, a lot of people, they say stuff like, they don't like the fat jokes. I'm like, I get it, some people are made uncomfortable by it. But trust me, it's not near as uncomfortable as being this fat. And I feel like this day and age, we can't make fun of anything without getting canceled, right? Like everybody's so damn sensitive. But we can make fun of one thing, fat people. And you know why? Because they know we can't march on Capitol Hill. You know? Those bastards. Talk about some fatalities, heart strokes, it'd be a mess out there. And I know some of you can't tell that I'm fat because I'm wearing all black. It's actually an optical illusion. Black is slimming. It doesn't seem to fool the booth at McDonald's though. Shame on you, McDonald's, for not even allowing your base clientele into your restaurant. And you know what, McDonald's? You need to come out with a dipping sauce that makes your nuggets taste like chicken. I do want to get fit though if it's the last thing I do, but only if it's the last thing I do. And I get tired of people watching me eat. It's rude to stare at people while you're eating. Just tell me you don't want to share. Don't sit so damn close to me, man. I got issues, man. Go with me a little bit here. And you know, I take it seriously. It is serious, I know. I shouldn't joke about it. I do want to be around. And the other day, my little daughter, bless her heart, she came up to me and she's like, Dad, I love you and I'm worried about you and I want you to be around. And if I could trade places with you, I would totally do that, Dad. I was like, oh, sweetie, that is amazing. Because I could eat like crap for another 20 or 30 years. And I do want to lose weight, you know. I even considered getting on meth to lose weight. But then I got to thinking, really? How much could teeth weigh? Thank you all very much.
John Mulhill, everybody, keep it going. Three good comedians. Got a big decision to make. Bringing up Dave right now.
Thank you, Ted. While they're delivering, I want to introduce our judges. I talked about Matt Wheeler before. He's a partner and part owner of the Happy Place. Thank you, Matt. Next, we got my friend Mike Rowe. Not the famous Mike Rowe that everybody likes, the other Mike Rowe. And once again, our sponsor for tonight and our host, Jay Pruitt. Jan reminded me that I forgot to mention that her and Keith are actually starting comedy classes here February 12th, Wednesday, February 12th. You want to take those classes, you can develop 5 minutes, have a grad show, and come to our mics and stuff, and we'll teach you how to do comedy so you can get up here. Now, while they're deliberating and finding a winner, this time of year, it's getting around Valentine's Day, I'd like to talk about my ex. Where are the married people at? I'm not. Turns out I'm divorced. Went great though. She got the house and the best car and the money. And I got jokes. So let me tell you a little bit about my darling ex. Now I know you all can tell, especially the guys up here in the expensive seats, I'm not a looker. I'm an ugly man. But my ex was hideous. Matter of fact, my ex was so ugly. She was so ugly, she made Jehovah's Witnesses drop their shit and run. They walk up like, excuse me, man, we talk to you about Jesus. I got more free Bibles that way. Last Halloween, she got arrested for being a scary clown. She wasn't even wearing a costume. She was so ugly, her new boyfriend asked me out. Turns out he's not a bad guy, and now he's my sugar daddy. I know y'all can tell that I'm kind of a fat fellow too, but my ex was huge. Matter of fact, my ex was so fat. She was so fat, she tried to join the gym. They said, forget Anytime Fitness, you need all the time fitness. I met her at a ball game. She was the only one rooting for the other team. When she did a one-woman wave, it was so impressive, I asked her out right there on the spot. Last year, I took her to one of those all-you-can-eat restaurants. She's still there. They just built a new wing right around her. They even changed the name. Now they call it Five Guys Can't Move Her Fat Ass. Thank you guys for letting me tell some jokes. I think we have a winner. We'll get $100. And I will let our host announce it.
All right. We do have a winner tonight, but before I tell you our winner's name, I want to give a shout out tonight. It just so happens, ironically, that there is a family that I had to serve last week whose loved one had passed away. His name was Fred Roberts. Everyone called him JR. And I know he's probably up in heaven right now enjoying this show with them. How about that? Let's give it up. I just wanted to throw that in there. That is just so ironic. You never know. It's a small world. We've got a winner for our contest tonight who's going to get $100 And let me say, he is a mountain of a man, John Congratulations, John.
You guys rock. Thank you. I just want to say, like, honestly, you guys have really, truly been a great crowd. I mean, I'm not just saying it. Don't agree, all the comedians tonight did great. So I'm so proud for Dave and Jan and what they've built here. And they can't do it without you guys. So please continue to come here. There's some awesome shows coming up. I love you guys. Good night.
Thank you all for coming here. If you weren't there, we couldn't be here. So thank you all and have a good night.